Are you looking to grow revenues, increase profitability, or obtain financing? If so, you came to the right place.
Running a business is all about leadership. How do you become a better leader? Learn from the successful entrepreneurs and business owners how to lead your organization more effectively. That's why we created Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business, to help you succeed with your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO and founder of the Small Business Pro University. Every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're joined by experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who share their secrets to success via live stream. Also, every Friday morning, we release a new podcast episode. Either way, you will learn about developing your business leadership skills from our roster of highly performing guest experts. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbprou.com.
Good evening and welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05. I'm your host, Andrew Frazier, and excited to be here once again with you on Tuesday evening. Hope your year is going well so far. Definitely excited about the potential for this year. As we talked about before, my goal is to make 2025 my best year ever, and actually I want to help do that for you as well. So definitely, going to focus on helping you and other business owners to sell more, maximize profit, and finance growth. And this is one of our initiatives for helping you to do it through Leadership Live at 8:05. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, really developing our roadmap for a strong 2025. Hopefully, maybe you have already done your business plan for 2025, or you're in the middle of it, or if you haven't, it's not too late. But, failing to plan is planning to fail. So it's important to really have a roadmap, have a plan, know where you're going and what you're doing. And my guest tonight, Jimmy Newson, we're going to talk about sort of how that, what you should put in your plan and sort of, how you should look at planning for 2025 and to make 2025 your best year ever. So you may know Jimmy, who's our guest tonight, but let me bring him on. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you today, sir?
I'm excellent. Good to have you on the show. This is our first time actually talking in person since the new year. So, so it's good to see you and have you on the show.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. As always, you and me are tight like grits and I don't know. People put sugar in it sometimes, or the rest of them just use it with butter. So we're good either way.
Yep. So no, and this year's off to a quick start. I guess we're not quite halfway through January, but January is disappearing really fast.
It is definitely moving really fast. When you brought it up, I was just like, wow, yeah, wow, it'll be over before you know it.
Yep, definitely. And, this time of year is a great time as a business owner to really take advantage of it. One, for you and for your business and preparing to have a great year, but also because a lot of other people are too. It's like everybody has the resolutions, knows what they want to do. So they're going to try and figure out how to do that. So, if you're able to help them, now is a good time, important time for them to know that.
Absolutely.
I've definitely had, a lot of outreach from a lot of people that, are looking to do things this year. So, definitely now is a great time to really take advantage of and make sure that, you're getting access to as much opportunity as possible. So.
Yeah, Darren says no sugar. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, some people are the ooh. I've had it both ways. I don't really have a problem.
Well, when in doubt, sugar and salt are never bad.
No,
So,
none at all.
Not at all. So, okay, great. And we got Corey here too. So what's up, Corey? How you doing? Darren, welcome, and welcome everybody to the show tonight. So, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about the annual planning roadmap for Strong 2025 with Jimmy Newson. But before we do that, Jimmy, you want to just take a couple minutes to just do a quick intro. A lot of people know who you are, but just a quick update on where you're at and, for people who don't know you so they can get a little bit of a feel for what you do.
Absolutely. I'll add a couple key elements here that I usually don't talk about. My background was in entertainment, and then from there I ended up going into video production. Video production led me into consulting and advising, and now I have Jimmy Newson Consulting, but I also have Moving Forward Small Business, which is basically my main focus as of right now. And with Moving Forward Small Business, we're all about leveraging innovation, technology, and business strategy to support our community of small business owners. Corey, who's joined us here, is one of our incredible members there. And our objective, our vision is to help save 1 million small businesses from failure by 2050, leveraging innovation, technology, and strategy. And we do that through a lot of training, a lot of in-depth content, similar to what we're going to talk about today, where it can be very high level, but it's extremely actionable, and when we're able to get actual steps in order to grow, then it makes it easier for us to get to that next step. So we need to start to focus more as small business owners on strategy as the foundation for everything that we need to do for our business to then do what it needs to do to support us as owners and those involved in the organization. So a little bit about myself.
Okay, great. So, definitely, we collaborated on many things over the years and had opportunity to, really work together on some projects to help a lot of clients as well. So,
absolutely,
definitely, there's a lot that we can learn from you. And so we'll take some time to do that now. But before we do that, I'm just going to take a minute. I got a new video about what Small Business Pro University is all about and where we're going and what we're doing. So let me take a minute to show that, and then we'll come back to talking with Jimmy Newson, and we'll lay out the roadmap and sort of how you can utilize that for your business this year. So we'll be back in a sec. Many small businesses experience low or no revenue growth, and the owners are not making enough money. I founded Small Business Pro University to help you break that cycle by empowering you with greater knowledge and enhanced skills to lead your organization more effectively. Over the past 15 years, I've collaborated with organizations like the Small Business Development Center, Rising Tide Capital, Empower the Village, NJMEP, Rutgers University, and SCORE to work one-on-one with over 1,000 business owners and teach tens of thousands of people about business. My experience includes serving as a naval officer, managing businesses, graduating from MIT, earning an MBA from NYU, and achieving the CFA designation, which has prepared me to accomplish my mission of helping 1,000,008 business owners to sell more, maximize profit, and finance growth by 2028. My vision is to create the ultimate business ecosystem for entrepreneurs. Small Business Pro University empowers entrepreneurs like you to run their businesses more professionally and create sustainable enterprises. We employ my proven proprietary Masterpreneur Playbook framework to guide your journey along the Masterpreneur path and facilitate your Masterpreneur evolution to work on your business and scale faster and easier. Small Business Pro University provides access to valuable resources, partnerships, and relationships that will help you to sell more, maximize profit, and finance growth. Our Masterpreneur initiatives include the Small Business Pro Network, 100+ expert-led multimedia courses, intensive training workshops, Spanish language training, Leadership Live at 8:05 live stream and podcast, in-person Power Breakfast events, and advisory coaching, consulting, and training services. Okay, welcome back. I'm here with Jimmy Newson, talking small business. So, Jimmy, to kick things off, we're talking about an annual planning roadmap. There's always we talk about planning, we talk about strategy, so it can be a little bit confusing. Is this annual planning, strategic planning? How does this fit, and how would you define what this is, and how it should be used?
Sure. So there's two things we want to look at here. One is annual planning. So we're talking about annual planning, which is really the focus on the immediate 12 months ahead of us. A lot of short-term, possibly even midterm type goals that will have an immediate effect on the growth of our business, on the expansion of our business over the next 12 months. Versus strategic planning, which is more long-term. It could be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, because it's more of a strategic roadmap that's aligned with your big vision. And the annual plan just kind of sits inside of the strategic plan. And the key here is all of your annual goals and whatever you're doing in your annual planning has to align with your overall strategic objective, which is where you see yourself again in 5, 10, 20 years. I saw on your video here that you had your vision and you had your mission. Our vision for moving forward small business is to be the number one strategic support system for small businesses globally. So that's our vision. And then our annual plan might be to improve our digital presence, maybe to secure 5 to 10 new strategic partners, which will help us get closer to becoming that strategic support system for small businesses globally. So the annual plan sits inside of the strategic plan, which is more long-term.
Okay, so we're really focusing right now on the coming 12 months. Basically trying to figure out specifically what we want to get done in the 12 months. And I think you said there's 7 steps or 7 stages.
There are for us, and this is something that we did this at the end of 2024 inside of the Moving Forward Small Business community. One thing I realized I wanted to do for our members was I said, look, let's get a jump start on annual planning. And of course, this should have been happening for most people, say in October. But at the end of the day, we know how things go with us small business owners. And at the end of the day, there's no better time than now to get started. Even if it's not the full 12 months, we got to get into some rhythm here. So by the time next year comes around, we've got some things that we've been tracking over the past whatever time it's been when you started. So the next year can have an even better start with an even better potential outcome. So what we've done is we put together our 7-step annual planning roadmap and that we were teaching, and we did it at a number of events, and of course that's what we're going to do here today. So I don't know if I should just jump right into it, or do you have another question?
Okay. All right. Well, I guess, do you want to just name the 7 steps real quick, and then we'll go back and talk about each one individually?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So as we talked about the strategic versus annual planning, the first step is more strategic, and it's more your strategic foundation. So it's not going to be everything in the strategic plan. It's going to be your vision, your mission, and your goals overall. And the reason why we need to have that strategic foundation in place first is because your annual plan has to align with where you see yourself in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years. Or else you're just going down the road with no real idea of where you're supposed to end up. And everything you do in your annual plan has to take you towards that big vision, towards that North Star. So the first step is your strategic foundation, which is your vision, where you see yourself, your mission, how you're going to get there, and then your goals. What are the steps that need to be taken in order for this all to come to fruition? So after step 1, because we're talking annual planning, now we're going to switch over the next 6 steps to more what's going to happen in the next 12 months. So the first thing you must do is then reflect on the past 12 months. So now you're going to reflect on the past. And that's why I say, even if you're starting now, and even though since we're after the new year, there's still no reason not to start doing this, because this is what we would call historical data. And if we've got some great data and we start to track that data month over month until the end of next year, whenever we watch this video, even if it's in the middle of the year, start tracking at that point, because when next year comes around, now we want to reflect on the past time with real data. So now that could help us predict what we should be doing next. So that's step 2. Then step 3, now we can create more strategic objectives based on the fact that if we know what the past is and we can measure that, we can kind of predict, well, where do we want to go? What do we need to do next based on our vision? And now we can set strategic objectives to do so. And now that those objectives are aligned for the next 12 months. And then if we're going to align objectives, now we need resources, because somebody's got to do that work. Somebody's got to pay for that work. And so those resources can include human capital, finances, whatever technology and tools you have available. So all of that's coupled into the resources, which is number 4. Then number 5, you need a marketing strategy. Okay, and so again, you're taking into account everything that's happened before with the past and whatnot. Now you can start to map out marketing strategies, and if you're reflecting, you're looking at what you did last year from a marketing perspective, things that worked, things that didn't work. And so now you're going to have to determine, do we double down on things? Do we not need to try something, or do we need to stop doing something because it wasn't as profitable? I had a client that's been running ads for quite a while, and she hasn't really made any money with those ads, Google ads. And I said, but her colleagues are running Google ads. I go, well, at the end of the day, maybe Google ads are not right for you. Where else can you allocate that budget, that can do even better? That could, you could be sitting on a great opportunity, but if you're not paying attention, you're never going to know that this opportunity is available to you. So after we have managed to do number 5 and build out a really strong marketing strategy, which should improve over time because you're monitoring it, then we look at risk assessment. What are the things that could stand in our way in order for us not to achieve our objectives, not to achieve our goals, not to get to the end of the rainbow? So we need to do a risk assessment. And through a risk assessment, one thing that pops into my mind is, have you done a SWOT analysis? Which is a whole nother thing, but still, we need to understand what risk could stand in your way, and specifically over the next 12 months. And then finally, quarterly reviews. So quarterly reviews means you only got to do them 4 times if you're making it an annual thing. The first one should come up at the end of March, and then again 3 months from then, and again 3 months from then. So every 3 months we need to be doing some type of review to see how we're doing, so we can determine if we need to course correct, if we need to make some adjustments, if everything is working well, if we're performing better than we expected. And so with that quarter review, that's number 7, and that's your 7-part roadmap to an annual planning success.
Okay, excellent. So you've got the seven pieces. It sounds a little bit overwhelming. Mm-hmm. As a business owner, especially if you've never planned or haven't done much planning before, that can seem overwhelming. How do you manage that, and what's the best way to do it? I mean, is like?
Well, the thing is, you're going to have to educate yourself a bit about, your business. You're talking growth strategies here. If we want to grow, we're going to have to invest time. By joining, SB Pro University or Moving Forward Small Business, where these organizations can help you with all these small pieces. I'll big up our organization with our members. We just got a great testimonial from someone, and they're like, you've been preparing us all of last year for this, to do this, because there are a lot of pieces. And you're absolutely right, and I'm not going to lie to anybody here. It's a lot of work. We're talking about annual planning. And so we need things. We need to know, you need to have access to your, not only your financials, but, how are you rallying the troops? What is the thing that rallies people? That's your vision. That's your mission. So these things and that's why I say you start with the foundational principle. The vision, the mission, the core values. So if you had never done anything before, start working there. And don't worry about everything else, because it's harder for you to get a ton of traction if you don't know where you're going. And so that's where I would at least start.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so it's a process. You're not going to finish it in a weekend.
No.
But like I always say, the more that the faster your business is going to grow, because you have to prepare yourself to be able to lead your organization where you want it to be. And part of that preparation is knowing where you want to lead it and how you're going to lead it there. And that's really what the plan is all about. So, so where should we start?
Okay. So again, the two things. One, again, if you know these three things: vision, mission, and your goals. If you've got those three things, the next thing you want to do is just reflect on the past. Look at your calendar, pull up your calendar from last year and see what you did. That's probably the easiest way. How many meetings did you have? How many deals did you close? How did you close them? How many ad campaigns did you run? How many marketing campaigns did you run? How many events did you attend? And what were the results from those events? And for everyone, it's going to be a little bit different. And I hope I'm saying the name right. Keno says, hey. I'm probably definitely destroying that name. But yeah, it's important to reflect on the past. And this is where, and I take that from, I'm an SEO head, search engine optimization. And it's easier to get traction when I have historical data to look at. For what you and I helped the client, and we really helped that client. And from my end, the reason why I felt I could contribute so much to that client was not because of where they were at the moment. It was everything I could they had a ton of data for me to review that allowed me to see what was working and double down on that, and then ask questions about things that I saw that I wasn't clear, and then and I got more clarity around that. So getting that foundation, getting that past history. So it may not be necessarily that you might even complete an annual plan this year. What you should be doing is getting better at tracking what you're doing, so next year you have something to use as a benchmark. Okay, so now, so what I'm really saying here is you might not be able to complete all 7 steps. I hope you do. If you hire a professional, then maybe that professional can definitely get you on the right track, get you moving there, really get you moving there quickly. But at the end of the day, as the business owner, we did a training a while back called "Are You the CEO of Your Small Business?" We have to start becoming CEOs, which means some of the things we do daily has to change. We have to be focusing more on data. And when we focus on data, that's 90% of everything that I mentioned in those 7 steps.
Okay. So it's about information. I think for a lot of business owners, it's important to, just start tracking things. I guess what are some of the things that people should be tracking, and as far as if they're because I think that's a step in itself before you can even do too much else.
Yeah, well, again, that becomes that third step. There's your goals. I mean, your objectives. Your objectives come from the fact that you know where you're going and you understand your past. Now you need to, and this is where technology can come in to help you with all this. So one thing I haven't mentioned is AI. Now, we know that this word is around. If you've got your favorite AI tool, which I have quite a few of them, you can have your AI tool at least give you a working vision statement, a working mission statement, as long as you feed it the right internal data so you can at least get past that step. And you can even ask it, look, here are the things I'd like to achieve at the end of the year. What are some of the key objectives that I need to in order to do that? So you can use that to just get something structured down, and then you can modify on the fly. And again, these are things we teach, so it'll be like, look, I want to be able to get in front of this many people, and here's what I have available to me. Here are the resources. What would be the key objectives and the key KPIs I should be measuring every month to see if I can hit that goal? And the AI will do a really good job of giving you those insights to go, look, this is what you need to do. And now you got to see if you can make that happen. And it's going to take some work, but it's a mindset shift.
Okay. Excellent. So you've got your objectives, the data objectives, and then that's going to drive your resources.
That's going to drive your resources, because now nothing's getting done if you don't allocate. And the biggest killer of strategy is lack of execution. And lack of execution is because of lack of alignment. So if execution is the problem, alignment is the reason. And alignment is alignment of the resources. Okay. So, and this is a notorious thing, and so I'm going to put myself in this bucket of being that entrepreneur that's got 16 side hustles. And I'm sure you've run across it. They got the nonprofit, the for-profit, and the tennis shoe thing on the side, and the this and the that and the this and the that. And the problem is there's not enough resources to keep it all going. Mm-hmm. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn, which is where now if you ask me what is Jimmy's main focus is moving forward small business. Even though I got Jimmy Newson Consulting, it is not even a conversation that I have with people. I am focused on moving forward small business, and that's hard for us to do as entrepreneurs sometimes. But we really have to get hyper focused. And I'll share a quick story. There was a guy I used to work for, a guy who used to interview all these high-end individuals, and I used to edit the videos for them. He interviewed a guy who created Fuddruckers, which is a restaurant chain in the South. And he was talking to them. They were very friendly, and he just talked to him. He goes, "Hey, what happened to that incredible idea you had?" And he goes, "I didn't do it." He goes, "Yeah, but that was an amazing business. You would have made so much money. It would have done whatever, blah, 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 blah." And he goes, "I couldn't find the right person to run it." What he was saying was, I couldn't find the resources that I needed to run that, and I'm not going to use my personal resources on it. Until I find the right person, that's when that's going to start to take off. I can still be involved, but he's determining how he wants to be involved. He wants to be very high level, and it can't take up his time, so he can continue to focus on the things that he should be focusing on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, great example. And they're not only down south. We got some in New Jersey.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, so pretty good place. I haven't been in a long time, but yeah. So, okay. All right. And so we talked through those. Now, we're talking through, strategically.
Yep.
But, for people to implement it, are there, like, what types of tool, what do people need to do, or what is needed for us to be able to start to do the process, and are there tools to make it easier?
Absolutely. Yeah, there are, because you will end up, if you piecemeal this together, you're going to have a lot of different things. I see some people that are loving using Chat GPT and all that. And again, the tools are great. There's a lot of tools out there to help you with this, to help you run your business in general. The problem is there's a lot of tools out there. Tools don't dictate how you do things. Strategy dictates how you do things. So if you wanted to manage your strategy, one tool that we recommend is a tool called Cascade. It's cascade.app, just exactly how it sounds. And it's free. for small businesses to use. And it helps you add your strategy to that tool, and then it allows you to track the progress of that strategy. So unlike a project management tool like like an Asana or Monday.com, this one's a little bit different. This one's it's specifically built to manage strategies, and we recommend this tool to all of our members of Moving Forward Small Business as they start to, no matter what we do as far as training and working together in the community, we're like, it needs to be thought of from a strategic standpoint. So if you don't do anything, if you get access to this tool, now there is a bit of a learning curve, but you need to, but again, you're looking at a situation where you have to, if you want to understand strategy, it's like chess. Okay? Chess is great when you know it, but you got to learn it first in order for you to see the true benefit and go, wow, this is one of the greatest games on the planet. But if you've never played it, you do not feel that way. And I see someone say, as if you want to design, no Photoshop can stop you. Not fully sure what that means, but yeah. So the first thing I would say is Cascade.app. There's a lot of tools. We use tons of tools every single month that we use to help our business owners understand technology and build strategy, and some of these things stack on top of each other, so we call it a tech stack. So we build out tech stacks, but again, Cascade is basically, for me, ground zero.
All right, so we got Cascade in the chat if you want for people to check it out. Excellent. So okay, so now, when you go through the planning process with people, is it better to try and do this yourself? Is it better to work with other people? What's the best? How do you recommend people do their planning process?
Sure. Well, all right. So we can be very candid here. It really depends on what you have available to you financially. If you're not working with a lot financially, and you have more time than money, then you should invest time in understanding strategy. A tool like Cascade has a ton of great training, but it requires someone to learn it. It requires a commitment on your end to follow through and then start to implement. So you're educating yourself just like you probably did to start your business. If you don't have that time, or you just need to get to that next step, there is an investment. You can hire a consultant, that's the high end of things, and that consultant can come in and help design an annual plan for you. Hopefully they'll share some insights so then you can learn from that and then continue that momentum. Or you can join a community like my community or your community, Andrew, where we will do it as a training program, and you still have to learn it, but we're shortcutting the learning process. We're getting you close to the finish line by only teaching you what you need to know to get to the finish line. Again, last month our framework, which is a 6-hour framework, was strictly on this annual planning process that I'm talking about right here. So you can literally digest this 6 hours of training and then just keep going back to it and knock out your annual plan, because that's what that particular program was built for. So again, there are resources for you to understand this, and it's either you do it completely yourself and you learn it all, or you join a community, you invest a bit and help them shortcut the learning process and also learn along with others, or just bring on someone and that's their job and they do that on behalf of your organization.
All right, so basically, it depends on your situation as well as your strengths and preferences in terms of what you focus on doing yourself versus having other people do.
Right. And let me add one more quick thing to that is, I always say that one of the best skills you can learn as a business owner is marketing, because you really get a great opportunity to understand how that integrates with every other thing in the business that has to happen in order to make money. I would also argue even more that strategy is now the new marketing. Because the strategy, the funny thing about strategy and marketing is there's a lot of overlap. But strategy definitely takes more into account everything else, how well the rest of the business has to run in order for the marketing to be as effective as it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you still have to learn this. And if you're going to step into the role of CEO or upper management, you need strategy in order to do that, because you have to manage something: money, people, tools.
Okay. And as the larger your organization grows, the more important it is, because you got to provide direction
Absolutely.
within your organization and create the culture that you need to have and that you should have to be able to deliver on your results.
Absolutely. And strategy gives you the answer. When you've got your strategy solid, you're not guessing. When people go, well, what's going on? What should we be doing next? You consult your strategy. And when you can consult your strategy, you feel more confident about what needs to come next and how you need to communicate back to the people that are dependent on you to keep this business afloat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And so as you're doing it, just like with being a business owner, it's a journey, and you're going to continue to evolve your strategy, your plan, your business is going to continue to evolve as well. And, so if we're doing this planning once a year,
Mm-hmm.
and you said we want to have quarterly reviews
Yep.
to see how we're doing versus our plan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of, this is sort of the structure and the framework that we've talked about so far. So now, with this structure, is there maybe some more concrete examples that you could give us to better see how it works?
Yeah, but before we do that, we skip the step, the risk management
Okay.
section. At the end of the day, we have to understand what could get in our way. What could stop us from achieving our goals. Maybe it's lack of financial resources. Maybe it's a new law that may come out. You got TikTok potentially about to be banned, and you got tons of people who built their entire business on TikTok. And at the end of the day, if you don't have a contingency plan for TikTok closing down, I'm sorry to say this, that's your fault. Think about MySpace. I had 7 accounts on MySpace, all pimped out, and they're gone. You have to look at the risk assessment of what can stop me from getting things done this year. Okay, and so now I'll go into your question you just asked. The first thing we want to do with our annual planning is to not get to December 31st, 2025 and still feel like we didn't accomplish what we wanted to accomplish, because time moves fast. And just like this month, it's already the middle of the month. And as you and I were joking, Andrew, at the beginning of the call before we went live, that I'm going to close my eyes and the month is gone. And so 1 month is gone out of this next 12 months. So do you feel you've gotten something accomplished? We have to do better at tracking and understanding what's ahead of us, what's behind us, and where we are. One of the things we're focusing on this year is, being in front of more small businesses. We have to become more, and it's possible to do that, but we have to put the effort in to go, where is our audience? What is, and you align it with your vision and your mission. This is what we need to accomplish. Where are our people? Where are the people at? And what are we going to do to help to get that objective accomplished? 5,000 new members by the end of 2025. What's it going to take for us to do that? And you can say it and then never do it, or you can say it and put a plan in place and go, this is what we're going to focus on. And if this is the only thing we end up focusing on because it takes up all of our time, if we determine that this is the most important thing, then that is what we do. And we say no to everything else that's going to derail us and keep us from doing that. And that's hard to do, but we have to start doing that. And then as we grow our business, we can reinvest what we bring in, so we can expand it, and we get more grand with our goals and our objectives, but build a team that will help us to do that. And it's not all on the shoulders of the owner of the organization or a small team of 2 or 3 people. So I hope I answered that question. I may need to give you more, but you tell me if I need to give you more.
Okay. No, that was definitely helpful. I think definitely with what we've got, you're doing it here as well. So, we've talked a little bit about this. What do you what else do we need to cover? What else do you think we should cover? Because we have limited time, and
Sure.
there's so much to what we're talking about. What else?
Well, I don't think there's really much else to cover.
Okay.
The key here is to, I don't want to put more on your plate. I've actually put quite a bit. There's a lot under the hood here. The key here is, planning. Like you say, I mean, I get your newsletter and the front line is fail to plan to fail. This is planning, and it takes time, but we need to have those pieces in place, and it's literally in that exact order that you go with, starting with the vision and mission. Again, that becomes the North Star. You can focus more on the big plan later, but at least get some idea of where would I like to see myself in 3 years. You can expand on that later, but get some. And I feel a lot more confident about the direction and growth of moving forward small business. And I can see clearly when things are not in the best interest of the organization that I'm working so hard to build, because I'm clear on what we do, who we stand for, who we serve, how we serve them. And then when I need to pivot, and every now and then I'll take a chance on something that may or may not work. And that's okay. We're small enough where we can recover quickly, but we don't want to do that too often, or again, we're stuck sitting there. So we need to start tracking something, and again, leverage AI to get some of these answers to these things. So you have something put together an impromptu type of annual plan. I'm going to give a link at the end here to all the resources I have and some templates. We've actually created 2 templates that I'm going to give people here access to. One is the full annual planning template. So you literally can go down the template and just find the things you need. Whatever you're missing, you stop there and you go find it. The other one, which was created because of someone that was on our training calls, because we do a lot of our training calls live before they go on demand, we actually created a monthly remembrance. Let me see what the name of it's called. We actually created a monthly reflection template because one of our members was like, I'm not going to be able to remember everything I did by next year. And they were like, it would be great if we could have some way to track everything monthly. And I was like, oh, that's actually a good idea. And so we created a monthly reflection template. So you're going to get access to that. And you're going to get access to our strategic objective template. So you're going to give you 3 templates, annual planning, monthly reflection, and strategic objectives. And these are all, we built these templates in Notion, which is another free tool. And a key thing for Notion is I actually paid for the AI upgrade on Notion. It's fire. Okay. So again, when Andrew drops that link, you'll have access to those. Start there, and at least now you've got something to check off as you do this, and just start to familiarize yourself with the process. It's okay if you don't know these things. Everybody had to start somewhere.
Okay. Definitely. So that's cool. So you mentioned the plan and the plan of the week. And, as you mentioned, every week I send out a plan of the week to really just um, provide resources, information, information about activities and events and other things that could be beneficial. Um, and this year, what we've done, we do it as an email, we do it as a LinkedIn newsletter, but just to really continue to upgrade is we started doing a plan of the week video. So we have a short video so people who can just take 30, 60 seconds, 90 seconds to sort of know what's going on, know what's in the plan of the week, and also see things that they may want to get access to. So actually, I'm going to share the most recent video that we have, and then we'll come back talking small business with Jimmy. So here's the plan of the new plan of the week video, and let me know what you think.
All right.
Hi, Andrew here, officially kicking off week number 2 of 2025. As everybody knows, failing to plan is planning to fail. That's why I created the plan of the week. Incorporating the POW into your weekly routine will help you achieve greater success, faster and easier. Will 2025 be your best year ever? Do you want to make more money this year? If so, you'll want to check out our live stream tomorrow evening with Jimmy Newson on the topic Annual Planning Roadmap for a Strong 2025. Last week, I talked with Deborah Andrews about how to increase ROI with their strategic, data-driven marketing plan. Also, you don't want to miss our new podcast dropping on Thursday morning with Kadira Muhammad talking about how to scale your business by leveraging systems, automation, and technology. Access valuable knowledge, resources, and relationships for your business by joining Small Business Pro University. The enhanced membership opportunities for 2025 include the Small Business Pro Network for entrepreneurs seeking community to test drive some courses and gain access to resources. The Growth Accelerator for business owners and future business owners who want to work on their business rather than in their business. And the Masterpreneur Club for business owners who have achieved a certain level of success and are looking to scale. Please make sure to save the date for the next Power Breakfast at the Galloping Hill Golf Course Clubhouse on March 21st. I look forward to helping you make 2025 your best year ever. And always remember that the more you know, the faster your business will grow. Okay, excellent. So each week we'll include a video at the top, and it's been a little bit slow as far as events for entrepreneurs and business owners the first couple of weeks of the year, but we keep a calendar of events from not only what I'm doing but what many other organizations are doing. So we'll have a lot more of those events added to the plan of the week as we had been doing last year as well. So just worth taking a couple of minutes to check it out to see if there's something that could be beneficial to you.
Yeah, and I think I need see a little bit more of that superhero dude in there, man. So you need to sprinkle him more in there. I need to see some superhero Andrew.
All right. Well, this is the year for it. So excellent. So we've covered your seven pieces. We talked about planning. We talked about strategizing. And it's not something people have to do all at once, but it's really about getting started. And I guess.
Well, it could take you a few months to get it together, and that's okay. And again, so I mentioned that most people will start their annual planning in October, because again, there's 3 months up to the end of the year. So don't be upset or beat yourself up that you don't have it done in 2 weeks, because there are a lot of factors in this, and it's an ongoing process. Again, your new year, your year can start from March to March if you want it to. You determine where it goes, or you take it from March to the end of the year. You track what you can, and then you can start fresh at the new year. I don't do resolutions. Like, I mean, I've, we hear that word all the time. This year, I haven't really heard it because I'm not in circles of people who actually even use that phrase anymore. I'm like, you know, it's planning, annual planning, and planning happens all the time. So, and we have to get better at at planning, you know. So, this is a process, and it should be a part of your routine.
Okay. Okay. And like you said, as far as risk and TikTok, which is like a major, it's going to be a major impact on a lot of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just started using TikTok last year, so I made some investments there. So we're going to see where that goes. But Ken will mention there's the China version of TikTok, Red Note app. So I actually downloaded that last night and been checking that out. So definitely have to be flexible and evolve, and we'll see where things go. But you know that's an example of something that you can see that's coming at you at a risk. You kind of knew it was a risk for a long time, and so probably hoping it wouldn't be. But and still might not end up being. It's not over till the fat lady sings.
Well,
And
here's this. Let me jump in real quick. And again, I'm not picking on TikTok because you're going to have more than just one risk.
yeah,
The key is you need to understand what they are. So if something happens, especially if 90% of everything that you do is based on that platform, now when we look at risk, there's three things we need to think about here. Let me just give me a sec. I got to find this. There's three things we got to think about when we're thinking about risk, and it's what's the potential risk that could happen.
mm-hmm.
What's the level of impact of that risk? Because you're going to have more than one. And then what are strategies I can do to minimize the fallout of that risk? So if you did a SWOT analysis, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, risk falls under more threats than anything. There can be threat. It could also be a part of your weakness. And so when we talk about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, strengths and weaknesses are internal to your business. Threats and opportunities are external to your business. That means that they can affect you and you have nothing to do with it. That's out of your control. So the threat that the government might shut down TikTok is an external threat to the business, which is a risk because there's nothing you can do about it. Now, if you lack the knowledge to run a TikTok site account effectively, that's a weakness, and that's your fault. So that's how you might classify it to go. Facebook is not right now in the threat category, but it could be a weakness if you don't use it. But your people are there, and your competitors are getting exposure to it. So you have to determine what these things are. And again, you can even ask your AI tool, your favorite AI tool, if it has the capabilities, drop the URL of your business into the tool and go analyze our site for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it will do a decent job, depending on the tool you use, and give you some things you should probably consider from a threats perspective, from a weakness perspective. And then you can determine, how do I address these? Do I even address them? Is it worth my time? Where is the impact level? Because you're still working with limited resources. And again, this is why you might want to engage a professional or work with an organization that has the ability to look at some of these things for you. Your thing is, if you do start to work with an organization or individuals or whatnot, keep your antennas up. So you're learning as you're going. So you, like you said, you learn as you grow, and so it helps you. But again, this is a language.
Yep.
And you can learn it.
Okay. Definitely. And, I think one thing that, we're talking about strategy, we're talking high level, but we also have to remember most business owners never successfully work on their business. And a big reason for that is because they're always focused on what's urgent, um, either important and urgent or not important and urgent. But what's going to drive your business and move it forward is working on things that are not urgent but important. And that's where strategy, that's where planning, those are the things that are going to, create the results that that you're gonna want if you want to grow your business and continue to increase and improve and grow over time. So yeah, it seems like it could be a lot, but nobody said it was going to be easy running a business, and your business can only go as far as you're prepared to take it, and the planning process is your preparation.
And this is why we chose this. If you ask me what is our focus at moving forward small business, it's strategy, because I think it's the most underutilized term for us as business owners. You could take a course to learn how to do Facebook ads and then just do Facebook ads, but Facebook ads may not be the answer, and it's only a piece of the big puzzle. And if you haven't aligned it with everything else, it may or may not perform well for you.
Mm-hmm.
So so that you got to understand where strategy fits into the whole process, and you're 100% right with that. But that's why we double down on strategy, because we're like, you got businesses failing, and they say the top reasons are finance. So it's lack of cash flow, capital. It's unproven product. Missed the market opportunity. All that is under strategy. And if you did a strategic assessment of your organization, you would have gotten those answers.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you did a good one,
Well, yeah, absolutely, that too.
and an effective one.
But start
But
somewhere. So
right,
I
but
would.
start somewhere, and it's really the difference of running your organization with a strategy and a roadmap, or having your organization run you, and not get the results that you want, and not really enjoy the experience. So
Mhm.
we're coming up on 9 o'clock, so don't want to keep people past, but I like to just always get three key things that people can take away and really utilize tomorrow, to really continue their journey and help them move forward on the journey based on what we discussed tonight. Can you leave us with three things? You need a minute, or
Now I can leave you with three things. I'm just
okay?
gonna come up off the top of my head here. One, and again, I'm gonna go a bit high level, but use your AI tool. Define your vision. Where would the vision is? Where do you see your company in the future? So figure out where in the future you want to put this pin, and put that pin in. And after you do that, now think about, well, what do I want to do within the next 12 months? And again, it could be one major focus area. What's one improvement I'd like to make in the company, tie it to revenue, and then three, just take action. Even if you went from on your gut from that point, at least you're headed in the right direction. So that those three things: get that vision in line, pick at least one major focus area for the year, and then take action.
All right, great. No, I think that's helpful to sort of um, get people started off, and you know, it's a game of inches.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
And say no to almost everything that doesn't align with that.
There you go.
Because
Sometimes.
if you don't say no, then you're still going to not get that done. And now you're committing to at least that one thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, definitely appreciate you coming and hanging out with me tonight. I've got your info in the comments. So,
Okay. Well, I'll make sure that we want to make sure we drop in the right resource because
okay.
they won't be able to find that page. That page is hidden.
All right. So let me do this. I'm going to just put it in here now. Jimmy's.
And that has the templates and
Oh,
everything I mentioned. And it has links to those tools that I mentioned as well.
okay. All right. All right. We'll see. So I just put it in Facebook. Now we're going to put it in LinkedIn. And now we're going to put it in YouTube.
Can I say one last thing about that?
Sure.
All right, so we at our community we have we're running our annual plan. So you pay one time and you're in the community for life. So right now it's ridiculously cheap, and if you which is $349 and you're in for life, it's $499 a year normally. So you're already getting it cheaper. And two, if you happen to watch this video before tomorrow night, January 15th at 11:59, and you use annual 2025 code, you'll get 15% off. So you can get it even cheaper. So again, that's going to be up for a while. But just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that is interested. There are testimonials on the page of members that show where the value that they're getting. So consider that. If this is something you want to do and you realize you want to do some of this on your own, but you still need support, that's what we're here for.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me tonight. Hang out for a little bit. I'm going to close things out, and we'll get everybody on their way. So once again, definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for your comments and input. Always, appreciate letting us know that you're here, letting us know that you're getting something out of it. And, if you have questions, we'll be glad to answer those as well. Definitely appreciate Jimmy taking some time to do this. Developing your strategy is extremely important and valuable. So hopefully you're taking something away from that. Check out the tools. Next week, we're actually going to focus on, mentioned earlier that my goal this year is to really help people make 2025 their best year ever. So next week's show is going to be focused on that. Gentleman that I'm working with on the coaching side, Cleavon St. Hillier, he's going to be our guest, and we're going to talk through how he's going to make 2025 his best year ever. Some of the things that we've done in preparation before this year started, and sort of what he's going to be implementing as a way to make this year his best year ever. So it's about planning and strategizing, but implementation is key. So it should be a good chat, and you can see firsthand how someone's doing that this year. So hopefully you can join us then. And definitely we're off to a new start this year. Check out the plan of the week. And, at the end of the day, the more that you know, the faster and more successfully your business will continue to grow.
Thank you for listening to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbpro.u.com.